I can neither confirm or deny that this is in fact a segment.
Boston trades Andrew Raycroft to Toronto in exchange for the rights to Tuukka Rask.
It's been my honor and a privilege to serve as the general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs Hockey Club.
It's time for Confirm or Deny.
Do you regret giving all those gentlemen the no trades or no movement clauses?
I can neither confirm or deny that.
I can't confirm or deny.
Jesus.
Confirm or deny. I can't confirm or deny, but I have to believe Fergie's been interviewed.
He might be on the docket here.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe a Zoom call.
Shut up. Shut up.
A text.
There's another one. Like Duthie's question, when you say something like, do you regret giving... When you say something like that, there's a tremendous amount of regret involved in the question.
Right. Yes, it is leading the witness a little bit.
I can't
Do you
believe
regret
Duthie asked
doing that
question?
That's a tough one. And
Do
what is
you regret giving all 5 of those guys no trades in their contract?
What was? I would love to know his actual real answer. He
It
didn't
probably
do that,
was.
like,
I can't confirm.
I can't. Like I would love to know his actual real answer to that question, because that
Me
was
too.
probably a panel question, and Duthie sitting across from him
it was
asking that question.
Probably on July
I
1st.
can neither confirm or deny that.
It probably was a July 1st. Here's John Ferguson. You know, Duthie does them every single year.
The Muskoka 5.
Yeah. Do you regret? Confirm or deny is brought to you by Don Valley North Lexus. Right now, lease the 2023 IS 300 all-wheel drive F Sports Series 1 from just $298 bi-weekly for 24 months. Visit DonValleyNorthLexus.com for all of the details. All right, confirm or deny. Statements are made. Go around the table. We confirm them or we deny them. Simple as that. Confirm or deny. Nick Nurse will last longer in Philly than Joel Embiid.
I'm going to deny that. It seems like Joel Embiid is just the prince of the organization. And if he's been allowed to show up all these years and not ever be in tip-top shape, and then he throws the MVP at them and says, see, just let me do what I want, it seems like, as one of my friends says, he's the king of the county, and I don't see it changing.
Yeah, he does seem to be that way at this point, but I'm going to deny this.
Yeah,
actually, you know what? I'm going to confirm this. I meant to say confirm. I had it worded improperly. I think Nick Nurse outlasts Embiid because Embiid is going through coaches and coaches and coaches. And I agree with what you're saying, right now. I don't dispute that. But at some point, it's going to turn on him. I think his comment at the end of the series was really, really damaging. Even though he just won the MVP and he had a remarkable season.
He said he can't do it alone.
He came out, he's like, well, it can't just be me and James.
Right.
Like, that is such a loser attitude
What if it's
in the
true?
NBA.
What if it's true?
Well, there might be an element of truth to it, but he takes no accountability. If you're the MVP in this league, you're supposed to win rounds. Like it is supposed to be you and James. Like if need be, it's got to be you two. Yes, there have to be other players, but it's not like they have absolutely no depth there in Philly. I think Nick Nurse is there for the long run. I think he's there for 4 or 5 years.
Maybe you can make the comment, if this is the scenario, me and James Harden were out of our mind on top of the world good, and we couldn't get it done. We need help.
Yes, exactly.
That was not the case.
That was not the case. He was not putting up 40 and 20 every single night, and Harden was not shooting. Harden was terrible at times in that series.
I think
terrible.
Nurse is going to outlast him because the NBA, these stars are changing teams.
He may want out
He
in
might
a year
just
or two.
exactly go check, please. I want out. And if Nurse pushes him and he doesn't like it, they might make a decision, go like it's enough with you, or puts him in a bad spot and he says, I hate this Nick Nurse, I'm leaving.
Yes, there's a lot of player movement in the NBA. There's a lot of coaching turnover too, though.
Yeah.
Like the NBA is wild, man. Like Bob Myers, the longtime GM of the Warriors, just said, I'm out of here. Check, please. It was time. That's his comment.
See the guy who's getting the cowbell in the air?
He got cowbelled in
Where
in
was
Sacramento, I think. Yeah, in Sacramento, he got cowbelled.
That's probably
See,
what
last
put him
night,
into
Pat
retirement.
Riley and Alonzo Mourning were sitting in the seats. In Boston, too. Like,
Just
Pat Riley
chewing
would be
on him.
hated in Boston. Man, would he be hated. And he just
fans
said,
would let him go.
yeah, put me in a suit, put me in the seats. That's how we operate. We referenced this earlier, that on FanDuel, Vegas is a minus 140 favorite to win the Stanley Cup. Confirm or deny Vegas should be more than a minus 140 favorite. In other words, they should be a bigger favorite to win the Stanley Cup than
Absolutely
what FanDuel has
not.
it at.
Absolutely not. I think with what Florida has done and the opponents they face, Hayes, you mentioned it off the top, they took down the King Daddy Topper. I didn't think there was a chance the Boston Bruins. I thought the Bruins were going to have a playoff run where they would set a record for like least amount of losses in the Stanley Cup.
16-2 or something like that, right?
Yes. I thought that was going to happen, and the Florida Panthers took them down, and then they took down the Toronto Maple Leafs rather comfortably, and then they slapped the Carolina Hurricanes in the face. Like, give me a break, man. They're a damn good team, and they've got two X factors in their goaltender and Matthew Tkachuk, who are out of their mind right now, and I don't know if it can be stopped, to be quite honest with you. Maybe after – I'm tired of making predictions. Maybe after a couple of games I'll be like – because sometimes you just run into something that's too much, and that might be the case. But I got it a coin flip and almost Florida being favored for what they've done. I'm just going on track record alone and how they got to this point.
I'm at a pick'em. That's close to a pick'em, but I'm even at a pick'em.
Yeah.
Because I think it is a coin flip. Vegas, from what I saw last night, there's not much teams beating that template.
That was outstanding last night.
But that being said, this Tkachuk, all he does is find ways. You know, Barkov with the 9 days off, that's going to help his health. The X factor is the goalie.
Bob,
the goalie shows up. Like, this is what scares me. You're going into the finals, and you go into Vegas for those first two games, and those guys roll in, and they're all sunburnt. Like, they've all been, like, golfing and, like, beautiful weather in Florida. Like, half of them have tans anyways during the season. Now you're practicing, and you're just going and doing what you want to do. You go out on boats. You go, like, it'll take them a second to rev the engine up again.
Yes.
Now they're pros and it's the Stanley Cup final and they're going to embrace the atmosphere. But I don't know. I think it's a pick'em. I really do.
So, you're denying it. I would deny it as well. I think this is an appropriate line. I guess I could not confirm or deny. I could Fergie this.
All right.
I could Fergie this.
You're not allowed to Fergie anything.
But from that standpoint, I'll deny it because I think it's appropriate. I think Vegas should be a slight favorite because they got home ice.
Right.
The better team throughout the regular season, which, again, effectively means nothing now.
Right.
But, in Florida, it just feels like there's more to Florida that can burst than Vegas. And that sounds crazy considering Aiden Hill is in net.
Right.
But they just play a system and a style that has been consistent all year. Like, Florida has been so hot and cold. Bobrovsky is the definition of unpredictable, the last few years of his career. So I think it's appropriate. I think Vegas should be a slight favorite, which is what they are. Confirm or deny, Bo Bichette has put his name in the best athlete in Toronto hat. Bo Bichette.
Yeah, I think he's done that. I think a little bit of the shine comes off it when he gets on the defensive side of the baseball. But I think as far as performance, the whole look, the whole package, he is throwing himself into the mix with what? Austin Matthews, Pascal
Siakam, and Vladdy.
Barnes, Scotty Barnes, maybe.
Scotty, I don't think has reached that level though. Scotty's not at that point. It's like there's kind of levels.
Where's
like
Vladdy in all of this?
Vladdy's again. Bichette's been better than Vladdy.
I know, but
he has
Vladdy
been
was
flat out
supposed
better.
to be, kind of a down year. Great first year, down year last year. You're expecting him to be.
He's not hit. He doesn't hit for power anymore. Like, he had that one big year where it was Ohtani and him for the MVP, and he hit 46 home runs that year?
Right.
44.
And now he doesn't hit for the same amount of power. He still, puts up good numbers, but not electric numbers, not MVP caliber numbers. But Bichette is doing that.
Is this hurting his contract?
I think it very well could. Because the 1 year, the MVP caliber year, that's an outlier. The other years are very good. He's a really good player. He's a very good player. Borderline great player. Maybe he is a great player. But he's not playing as if he's one of the 3 or 4 best players in the league.
No, he might be walking himself away from one of the monster deals, which is like 350 to 400. He might be, with his performance alone, backtracking on that type of a deal. I don't know.
He's not getting the Aaron Judge deal, put it that way. Like what Judge just got, like $40 million a year, he's not getting that. Right. But that doesn't mean he's still not going to get maybe 300 over like 12 years or 10 years or something. But I confirm this as well. Like, you look at what Bichette's doing. I think he's leading the majors in average or top 2 or 3. Leading the hits. The wins above replacement is really high. He's been in the top 10 consistently all year, and even September. Remember how good he was in September last year?
Yeah.
Like, Bichette is a rock star, man. He's hitting for power. He gets on base. He plays a prominent position. He's absolutely in the running. Like, considering Matthews took a a step back this year in terms of his production. Marner was great. Willie was good. It'd be interesting. We should maybe do that, like Toronto's Mount Rushmore today. Like right now, of the current players, who would be on Toronto's Mount Rushmore?
Of the top 3 teams?
Yeah,
man?
basically of the top 3. I still think it probably is Matthews, Marner, Vladdy, and Bo. Like, I think it's probably them. Manoah was pushing, but he's out of the running now.
Siakam
is right there.
Isn't he a second tier?
Yeah, he's probably there with like Willie and Tavares and like a healthy Springer, you know.
It's probably those 4.
It probably still is those 4, and it may be for a long time as long as they're all still in Toronto. All right, confirm or deny. Speaking of which, Masai Ujiri and Brendan Shanahan are still running the show in Toronto in 5 years.
I don't think so. That's
What's
too
false?
long a time.
Deny.
False.
Sorry. I'm like, what?
True.
5 years is 5 years.
That would be a ridiculous.
Confirm or deny that?
We would never do something so stupid as
false?
true or
That would
false.
be- yeah,
that lacks creativity.
I'm denying.
I got to be honest. Those are two kind of person. I don't even know if they would want to be here in 5 more years.
They've been here for a long time already.
Right, and you tack on another 5. I think they both would have ambitions of doing something else within each respective sport.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm completely denying that.
Yeah, I'll deny it because all you need is one guy not to be here. Right. Like there's a chance one of them is here, but the idea that both of them are here after 5 more seasons, that would be such a long run for both guys. And you know, both guys have had great careers. Both guys are well respected throughout their sport. Other opportunities pop up. Like Shanahan's from here. Masai is not. Like Masai, he's got roots here clearly, but Masai may think, you know, someday I do want to go to New York or I do want to go to LA.
Isn't that
Washington
floating?
always pops up. Maybe Golden State, you know, is something he'd want to look at. Who knows?